Hi guys, and welcome back to another Tech Tutor Thursday video. This week we are going to be learning how to register to vote, update voter registration, and check voter registration online. Before I get started, this video will be focusing on how to do all of this online, but if you would prefer to register to vote in person or using a traditional form, you can do so at the library as well. We have voter registration forms that you can either take with you and turn into the Board of Elections on your own, or you can fill it out and we will get it to the Board of Elections for you. So it is up to you, but if you want to learn to register to vote online, keep watching and I will go over everything you need to know. Okay, so the first thing we are going to need to do is go to VoteOhio.Gov. This is a web page on the Ohio Secretary of State website, and this page will provide us with all of the links and information we need to be ready for Election Day. So first of all, I am going to do just a quick overview of all of the information that can be found here. First, we have links to register to vote, including links below that to change your address and check your registration. Next, we have information on how to vote on Election Day, including how to find your polling location, safety precautions, and signing up to be a poll worker. We have information about absentee voting. So that includes links to more information, including tracking your ballot, military and overseas voters, hospitalized voters, and is absentee voting safe and secure. If we move to the second row of information and links, we have information about voting early in person, and below that, you can find your early voting location and view the early voting schedule. Next, we have voting information, so that includes sample ballots, local questions and issues, ID requirements, voting schedules, eligibility, and provisional ballots. Finally, we have information for voters with disabilities, including information about accessible absentee voting. So as we can see, there is a lot of information here and pretty much all the information you will need to know about voting. But today we are just going to be going over voter registration. Registering to vote is very simple and can be done entirely online. The first thing that we are going to do is click Register to Vote. From here, the process is pretty straightforward and it shouldn't take too long to complete. First, we have this page that goes over what we need to register to vote online. So that includes an Ohio driver's license or Ohio identification card number, your name, date of birth, address, and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. This page also tells us about registration deadlines, which is October 5th for the November 3rd general election. And then there is information at the bottom for people who have moved out of Ohio. Once you have read over all of that and you have everything you will need, you are ready to click Let's Get Started. Next, that brings us to the eligibility page. So this tells us all of the requirements we need to meet in order to register to vote. Again, you will need to read through all of these requirements, and if you meet them all, you are ready to go ahead and click Continue. Now we reach the page where we need to enter our personal information. So this includes first, middle, and last name, date of birth, and your Ohio identification information. If any of the information is optional, it will say so. Otherwise, the information is required to register. Next, we have the address page. So first we have information about residency requirements, and again, if you meet the requirements of being an Ohio resident, you can proceed to enter your address. If there's already an address on file for you, it will tell you so, and then you can enter your current address and click Continue. The next page in the registration form is additional information. So here it asks if we are interested in being a poll worker, and then for our contact information, and once that is entered, go ahead and click Continue again. Finally, we reach the page to review the information we have just entered. So you will want to look this over carefully and make sure everything is correct. And if not, you can click the button to the right to edit your information. Or otherwise, you can continue to scroll to the bottom if everything is correct. At the bottom of the page, there are some declarations that we need to read through carefully. So these are the eligibility requirements for registering to vote, so you should only authorize these and proceed if you meet each of these requirements. After doing that, you can proceed to submit your voter registration form. Next, we are going to go over how to change or update your address on your voter registration. To change your address on your voter registration, you will begin by clicking Change Your Address. This takes us to the same form that we just went over, and since you are already registered, the system should recognize you after you enter your personal information. From there, the only difference in the process would be that once you get to the address form seen here, there is a section for current address, and you would update your address and then move on to complete the form, and you are all done. Okay, so finally we are going to go over how to check your voter registration. The first thing you will need to do is come down here and click on the link Check Your Registration. Next, we are taken to this page where you will need to enter your first name, your last name, and the county you think you are registered in. Once you have entered that information, you will click Search. Hopefully, after you complete this search, you will see your name and address on this page, but if not, we have some recommendations here to search again. Or now you know how to register to vote, and you can head back to the previous page and fill out the voter registration form. And that is all there is to it. So that concludes this week's video. Remember, the voter registration deadline is October 5th, so if you would like to vote in the general election on November 3rd, make sure to get registered or update your registration before then. Also, make sure to check out VoteOhio.Gov if you have any other voting-related questions. Again, you can also come into the library for a voter registration form, which we can turn into the Board of Elections for you. For more information, give us a call at 740-335-2540. And as always, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any other questions, either by email at kcottrell@scolibraries.org, during my drop-in hours, or by appointment. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week.